What you doing? I'm your talk container, the AC Stories with this alcoholandanime. Okay, this one is another episode. This one actually is a special episode only because, if I am right, and I've double checked, so I should be. This is episode 42. It's the episode. It's the answer to the universe episode, but this movie is not. So it doesn't match up too much. Anyways, I watched My Hero Academia. You're next, which you probably know. Yeah, I watched it alright. How much to say before? You know what? You know that much? Let's just go right into the drink. The best part about this film is the drink, which is not the drink itself that I made for it, because it's okay. It's the fact that this movie opens up with alcohol. Damn right it does. Yeah, not what I expected from My Hero Academia movie. I'm so surprised that these, films that are based off of series already are having so much alcohol in it. And it's not a lot. It's okay. It opens with the main villain has, at first while I thought it looked like a glass of brandy. I think it was just weird animation, or it goes by kind of fast and maybe I just missaw it, but I'm pretty sure it's just a glass of red wine. But it definitely looked like brandy, like a brandy glass at first. But then camera angle turns, and then it pops up a couple more times later in the movie. So it has red wine in it. That's it. That's good enough for me, though, to open up with alcohol. Another win for this podcast. Fuck yeah. Okay. But that's it. It doesn't give me a lot to work with for my drink. But while I'm calling my drink, because it's not just red wine, of course. But what I'm calling it is the Your Next drink, just to finally get these drinks done with. Wait, is that it? The Your Next drink, just to finally get rid of these. Just to finally be done with it. The Your Next drink, hang on. The Your Next drink, colon, just to finally be done with it. Something like that. I don't know. I'll workshop the name. It's something along those lines, because what I did is, I guess I can't really. I wasn't crazy about this film. It was okay, and so I've had a wine that I'm not crazy about either, that I've been meaning to drink just to get done with it, just so I can finish it off. I tried it, didn't really like it. I don't like the place I got it from at all. The place pissed me off. But the people I went with liked it, so it was like, whatever. I had this, I guess. I was so excited to go to, well, they were excited to go to. I didn't care. But yeah, I ended up getting a bottle of wine from this place just because I'm soft-willed, I guess. And it's easy to convince me to buy alcohol whether I'm crazy about it or not. Anyways, I'm not going to go into, there's a restaurant, there's a cidery, there's a winery, there's all kinds of stuff on this property. But yeah, so what the wine is itself, I won't even say the name, but at least what it is a blend of grapes and blackberry wines with natural flavors. That's it. So it's something like a grape and blackberry wine. It's okay. It's not great, but what I added to it is the vodka, the Japanese vodka I had for the last time I did the My Hero Academia film. For the first film, I did it last month, as the previous episode. That movie was bad. It was just bad. But the vodka was fine. So I still have it. I'm not trying to get rid of it, but I wanted something to mix into the wine, which I do want to get rid of, but not waste. And then while I was doing that, I've had a bottle of lavender limoncello liqueur in my fridge for a while. Barely touched. And I was like, I'll do a splash of that to get rid of that slowly. And I don't dislike it. It's just super sweet. Like, literally a splash adds a whole lot of flavor to anything you add it to. I think it's been in a few of my drinks for this podcast. And it's overpowering, so I haven't used it. It's super sweet. I'm not that into super sweet drinks. But overall, the drink itself, the Your Next drink, colon, just to finally be done with them, is it's okay. It's actually decent. It's better than just the wine by itself. Maybe it's the limoncello and the vodka adding to it, making it better. I don't know. This actually is better than I expected it to be. I just expected it to be either the vodka be too strong, it's not, or the wine just, that's all you taste, and you don't. So, yeah, it's decent. It's okay. That's all I really need to say about the alcohol. Ooh, this might be a short episode because this is the first movie I've seen in theaters in a long time. At least anime film. And the last time I was Spy Family Code White back in April. And which finally found some old wine that was like just like it was in that movie, but it's too late for now. I thought about using it for this film, but no, I'll say that. I literally just got that. I'm not trying to get rid of it yet. But yeah, so first time seeing a movie in the theaters in a while. I think there was others that was there. I just didn't care. There was one that was looked back, but it was short. It wasn't worth my time going to a whole nother city. This one was at least in my city. But yeah, just waited until I had a decent time to go watch it, which was the middle of the day, which is apparently when nobody goes to watch movies. I was the only one in the theater, and this was... let's see. The film came out, at least here, where I am, on the 10th. It's supposed to come out on the 11th in the US, but it always comes out the night earlier. And then I went and watched it. It is the 14th. So, yeah, it's only been 4 days. And, yeah, I guess it's just not a super popular movie. I was the only one there. It was great. And that's just how it usually is. It was the same way with Spy Family. It was the same thing with a whole lot of other movies I went and see. And honestly, I kind of expected it. When I was going in the theaters, there was a lot of other people going in, a lot more than I expected. And I was like, oh, people are actually coming to see this movie. No, they weren't seeing this movie. They look like nerds. Not in a bad way. So I was like, oh, there are actually people coming to see this, and they weren't. I don't know where they were watching. It wasn't this. What a shame. But, yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. What I was most nervous about is my theater sucks at playing subs. There's been multiple times with me, multiple times when my other friends have gone without me. And we've gone to try to see the subbed version, and they'll play dubbed. And I went in, it's just like, please, let this be subbed. Don't make me have to go out there and complain. Don't make me... Look, ever since I watched the dubbed of the first movie of My Hero Academia movie, I could not stand watching this. My other friend... Blue, another guest on this podcast who went without me when it first came out with other people. It was busy. I was fine. So I ended up having that problem and had to watch the dub version. And it says it was just bad. The dub's bad. I know it was already bad. And I just couldn't. I was like, if this ends up being dubbed when it's supposed to be subbed, I'm going to have to go complain and either get a refund and come back some other time, which I didn't want to do because it was kind of the only time I had this much time available to watch the film and come back and record because I got stuff to do. And it's like, or go complain and just tell them they need to switch it. It was supposed to be subbed, make it sub. So when it came on, of course it came late. It didn't start. Not even the trailer started at the time it was supposed to. So that was making me more nervous. And I was like, oh no, this is going to take up even more time. Then the trailer started, and they're all in English. None of them were anime trailers, which it usually are. So that made me nervous. I was like, oh no, don't make me sit through all this and then it'd be dubbed. I have to go playing again. And I waited. And it was subbed. And I was like, woo! Okay, victory. And that was, I know, long-winded, dumb story just to say, yeah, I watched the sub version, finally. I just can't do dub anymore. Some are fine. Look, but the My Hero Academia dub is terrible. I finally heard, because Sui, Froppy, not really in the first movie. So I heard a clip of the dub for this movie with Froppy. And oh shit, was it bad? Froppy's another one of my favorite characters. And then hearing the voice, I was like, this is terrible. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? Who is behind the English voice casting for My Hero Academia? And some of them are fine. I don't think All Might's that bad. I don't think Deku or Bakugo are that bad. But my two favorite characters, Mineta and Froppy, Sui, they're terrible. They're some of the worst voice castings I've ever heard. Like, even worse than the English voice for Zelda and Breath of the Wild. And it's just terrible. Anyways, so I'm glad it was subbed. I know I'm just going on rants about that, but I need it. I had to play some catch up because I couldn't watch the film and drink because my theater's not cool like that. So I had to play catch up and got home and drank a bit. I thought about taking something with me and sneaking it in, just a can of something maybe, but I didn't. So yeah, I couldn't drink while watching a film. I have to make up for it. I'm hungry. Oh dang, I am hungry. I don't eat popcorn or anything. Watch movies either, so it might be hitting a little harder than I expect. But yeah, that's a movie watching experience, I guess. I went alone. I had people who could have gone with me, but went a different time because, hey, we're adults. Schedules don't always match up. And I could have went and saw it with other people at another time, but I didn't want to wait. It's kind of my fault too. But let's move on that rant and just start talking about. Let's look at some informational stuff about this film. Stuff you could probably just find online if you looked it up. But hey, I'm already here talking about it. Let's talk about it more. So, My Hero Academia, you're next. Or the hip bone pronunciation. Boku no Hero Academia za movie Yaoi Netsukusuto. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, originally came out in Japan August 2nd, 2024. Oh, day after my birthday. Okay. Like I said, came out in US. Supposed to be October 11th. My theater gets a day early. For some reason, middle of nowhere. Let's see. Director change for this film, apparently. Directed by Tensai Okamura, who replaced Kenji Nagasaki as the director. Let's see, who else was involved in this film? I don't know names, so I don't know why I bother, but maybe sometimes other people will know names. We have screenplay by Yosuke Kuroda. Of course, music by Yuki Hayashi, which a lot of times for some reason I don't pay a lot of attention to music unless it's really phenomenal. And a lot of times with these series movies, they're not cool. But at least the opening scene and the opening, the OP, the opening credits for this, that was also just a really cool sequence. But also the music was really cool, and like the music is fine throughout. Nothing to stand out too much, just the opening. That was great. And then of course by Studio Bones, distributed by Toho. It says 110 minutes. Was that right? Yeah, almost 2 hours. It didn't feel like a super long movie. It wasn't that short, at least. So I'm at least glad about that. I still like to. I'm trying to think what to do with that last 10 minutes. Of course, there's credits. So I guess that's another thing. They could have added more to the end. It just kind of ends. I'll say that now. Spoiler. I'm going to talk about this movie a whole lot. I feel like I have to always say spoiler, even though I don't always. 10 minutes could have been added to the end, definitely. Maybe a little more exposition in the beginning, but that's also kind of one of the nice parts about this film is it really just jumps right into it. So I think just the end. Maybe draw out some of the fights in it too, because it kind of just goes through that really fast or just gives you glances. For some people, they just don't last long enough to matter that much, which that'll be part of my criticism when I actually go into depth of the story. Yeah, I don't know how well this actually does in theaters, how well it's being regarded. I'll say just now, basing it off of other films, the other My Hero Academia films, I think this is my second favorite, barely. The second film, definitely my favorite. Second film is one of my favorite anime films of all time. The first is definitely the worst. Which is such a big difference. I don't know what happened. And then the third and fourth are almost tied. Mainly because I don't remember the third that much. I just remember I wasn't that impressed with it. I think most of the disappointment with the third one is they set up such a big scale just to only focus on one really little thing for the most part. And the other main thing is it just wants to focus on Deku. I know he's the main protagonist. There's so many other characters and you barely show them. And it's like, oh, it has to be Deku and Bakugo, Shoto. Only those three pretty much. And it's like, why those three? At least have everyone else really join in and do some other stuff. But I think the reason this one moves up to second just barely is because it is really self-contained. It does kind of just jump right into it. It all takes place really quickly. It suddenly, out of nowhere really. And then it's like it takes place in the evening. So, yeah, that was nice that it can just be contained like that. And doesn't really set up any huge expectations, like worldwide, global. But, yeah, so it didn't disappoint me in that way like the third one did. I think that's why it moved up just a bit. But, I don't think there's really any other information to talk about with this film. It's still in theaters as of now. But I don't put these podcasts out till the end of the month, so there'll be a couple more weeks. So we'll see how that goes. First time in a long while, I recorded a podcast, not last minute, to get out by the end of the month. But yeah, that's informational stuff if you want. Let's actually talk about what happens in this film. I already said it opens up with alcohol, which take another sip of that. I'm trying to think. That's one of the downsides of watching in theaters is I can't take notes. I could have. I could easily brought a notepad or something. Took notes, wrote it down. Nobody else was in there, so I wouldn't bother anyone. Really, I could have just brought my phone out. Just doing notes like that. But I don't know. Just something about being in a theater, trying to take notes and do stuff like that is weird. And it's like an experience with the big screen and everything. I don't want to take away from it by trying to just write and do all that and miss something maybe. Because I also can't pause when I watch films at home. I can always just pause them or whatever. So I didn't do that. I think I tried that once before this podcast ever existed. I think it was when I watched Premiere or something. One of the films. I tried taking notes and realized it didn't work. Tried taking them right after. Realized it didn't really do that much either. Oh, definitely couldn't have done it during Premiere. Which one was it? Because Premiere was throwing me all around. That was a 4D movie. I don't know. I just know I did it for a movie and I didn't like doing it. Let's see. So where to start? It takes place, I guess, in between the 6th and 7th season. Whatever season just currently aired or finished airing, I guess. It takes place, I guess, right... it was after Deku came back to UA. I guess it's before Stars and Stripes comes. I'm assuming it is. Before shit going down, that little time, everyone's trying to just do stuff. They're trying to round up the jailbreakers. Sorry, this is going to sound like I'm just trying to remember everything from the top of my head because I am. So I'm just going to be a lot of ums and hms. So I apologize for that. Yeah. It's another weird thing to have another villain in the middle of this. That's why it's probably also good they kept it all in one day, in one evening or whatever. Because for it to last a couple days or something, if that was the case, it would be weird. Because there's a whole nother villain group out there that they're supposed to be preparing for. So it's kind of weird timing, but it's the last chance you really get. I know how the series ends, so you couldn't really do too much. If you try to do a movie after wherever the series would end, I guess you could try. There's no need or point in it. So this really would be the last chance. And I feel like it fits well enough to just do this quick kind of thing, and on this scale. But also, that's the other thing is this is a group. These bad guys, they're called the Guarini family mafia. They come all the way from Europe. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like Italy if they're like a mafia. It does. I don't think it ever says Italy. It just says Europe. But the person who's drinking the wine at the beginning, named Baldo, were you bald? You might have been bald. I don't know. And it's kind of cool, kind of creepy sequence of like drinking some wine, watching like a recording of All Might. The battle with All Might facing All for One. Not of course armored All Might, but way back when. And it's just like Baldo's face is all wrapped up, looks really creepy. And then it's just watching. It's like fanatical about like All Might pointing and being like, "You're next," of course, or "It's your turn," whatever. Which of course where the title of the film comes from. And then decides, "Oh, I'm going to be the next symbol of peace. I'm going to be All Might." Assuming getting plastic surgery, which being wrapped up, I assume Baldo already did all the plastic surgery or whatever was needed, or just use a cork to do it. And yeah, did all that. So that's the opening sequence. Kind of creepy, kind of a little bit crazy. Then we get to like our main group trying to round up jailbreakers. That's the main point of it. There's a group trying to remember one who can like fuse with a truck, trying to be like a revolver room. There's a evil Choji looking character. Then someone else who flings like weird energy infused blades or whatever. Taken care of pretty easily by Deku, and all of them, like all of the class 1A students are out doing stuff. And then, of course, it kind of turns into a competition. Deku's group got 3. I think Bakugo got 6 or 4 or 5. And then Shoto's group got like 6, something like that. And then there's another one who they get a report on and go to immediately. Don't remember the name. Even though I do wish this character would have came back because it would have made more sense. I don't remember the name. But the power was, I'm pretty sure a quirk for this person was have a mouth on the stomach that can eat stuff away. But then, of course, when they find the person, one carrying some Anna, I don't know what kind of role you play, the hostage, whose power amplifies other powers, so it causes this jailbreaker to grow like extra limbs that are also mouths, like almost like a Machamp kind of deal, but instead of 2 extra arms, it's just 2 extra mouths. And just running around rampaging, trying to use the power to get away on his power. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We see another person just in the background who shoots and stuff, guns and a cool motorcycle. Oh, you gotta give me a moment. I gotta remember names. No, I don't remember the name. I'm sure it'll pop up. No, shall I look it up? Oh, Julio, I don't know, something like that. It's a weird name. Yeah, shoots and all that stuff. So everyone's just trying to take Anna. Then someone, Julio tries to shoot Anna. Someone steps in and causes time or motion around Anna to slow down, so it stops the bullet. Then I don't know, Machamp wannabe stomach person tries to attack more, and this also stops. And then a giant flying ship pops out, and that's Baldo, the Gorini family, pops up and takes Anna back. Just kind of stops everyone in their track. Baldo declares himself the new All Might, the new symbol of peace, and just wreaks havoc with the giant ship. Not doing bad, really just comes by, stops Anna, but the ship is just doing some damage. And then throws out like coins and stuff, really using the money. And it causes a bunch of lights to pop up and swallows everyone up in their city, and then keeps throwing coins, and ships move and the light grows, and somehow all the civilians in the area, and then only the class 1A heroes, I don't know where all the other heroes were supposed to be, but only they are sucked up at first, all of them, which there's a part where they're trying to run. For some reason, Ida is one of the first people sucked up when they all start trying to run away. I don't know how you didn't escape. I guess plot reasons. But yeah, how much detail have I gone into? I'm surprised I'm remembering this much, kind of. So they're all sucked up. There are 3 different groups, all led by, one Deku, one Bakugo, one Shoto. Or Ida, kind of. Then... they're just trying to figure out where they're at. The stomach person... never seen again, even though it should have been sucked up if everyone else did. I don't know. Just a little thing that got forgotten about. Then it kind of shows the group. They're all going, the family. There's one, of course, one that stops motion. The leader who's trying to be the next All Might. One who puts people in dream-like state to control them. There's a few others that eventually it'll take forever to go through every single detail. Those are the main ones. Everyone else pops up pretty much once to fight, kind of. So let's see. Somehow Deku jumps in a hole to try to figure out where to go. Loses a corks, or the ability to use corks. Runs into Julio. Don't get along too well. Are driving around. Then find one of the family members, I guess. The family. They don't really act like family. Whose quirk is to kind of take other people's quirks. Which kind of makes Aizawa not seem as special. But the way this person quirks work is it sets a field. It selects a field that within that field you can't use quirks, and apparently it's pretty large. It's huge. It's a huge field. But of course, all the family members are using Anna. They do like a physical touch of Anna. They all have roses. They touch Anna. Their powers get a lot better. So that's what they're all doing. So maybe that's how the quirk grows. But there's like a bubble inside of it, like right around this person. I don't know the person's name. Paolo. Oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, in that little bubble, quirks can work again. So Deku figures this out. Is able to use Julio as a distraction, get inside that range, and then get the quirks back and beat Paolo. It's that easy. This whole time, All Might, or fake All Might, Baldo is Dark Might. Yeah, Dark Might gives their own name. Tries talking to the original All Might. All Might's like, these are my ideas, blah, 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 blah. You're bad. And it's like, I am bad. You know what? You're right. I'm going to be Dark Might now. That's kind of dumb. I didn't describe the scenes. There's a lot going on in this, and it's cool, but don't think about it too much. So, where they originally appeared, Deku's group was in like a jungle, then snow, kind of, then a beach, kind of. Of course, Deku got separated from everyone. Bakugo was in a amusement park, but it doesn't matter because it shows, and then they go right up to the castle or whatever, and then I'm forgetting. Shoto's group was just in a field. I do not know exactly. Anyways, they're all separated. But it really doesn't matter where they go because they don't stay there. So yeah, that's a failure. Bakugo's group. You all need to watch this film. They find Dark Might first, right? Wait, what was Shoto's and Ida's group doing first? Oh, okay. There's all kinds of stuff. So Shoto's Ida's group, they run into the one who can control dreams. And in order, big part of this, in order to use honest power, you have to be like compatible. So these apparently there's like I think 8 family members out of 20,000 or 2,000, something like that are compatible. And if you don't, you get like feedback that like causes a lot of pain and stuff. So this person put a bunch of people in all the civilians. I also don't know why all the civilians were separated from like Deku's group, because they were all kind of together. But yeah, they all ended up somehow in like around a fountain. And then when Shoto Ida's group pops up, they are immediately put into the dreamlike state. There's really no resisting it at all. So they all have their own little dreams. I'm not going to go into it. It's just all them being happy. Then Bakugo's group. Oh, now just go ahead and say eventually, Deku's group, well, the remaining, after getting separated, they also end up finding a way to that fountain and also immediately get put under. Okay. And then Bakugo's group. I keep going back to that. Finds All Might, who sends him, or Dark Might, who sends him into like another dungeon like it's a video game. And that's the thing about Dark Might is has the power to just instantly wipe all of them out. Can completely keep growing and fixing this giant ship. Can keep summoning these like weird monster things. Can just open up holes. And so it's easy for Dark Might to just get rid of everyone completely automatically. But all this just seems like a game. But I think really is All Might's not real, or Dark Might's not getting rid of people because not even really want to be a symbol of power. It's just wanting people to acknowledge the strength, which nobody really does because everyone just thinks or is saying Dark Might's bad, of course. So it's just playing with people, not even trying to get rid of them. And it's like, it makes no sense for a villain, but this person's also kind of just fucked up to begin with. So that's just what happens, I guess. But yeah, since Bakugo's group in a dungeon, they just fight a bunch of monsters. Eventually, they make their way to like the person controlling it, who I don't even know what the person's power was, really. I have no idea what this person's power was. It makes no sense. Just watching over, like through kind of like screens or whatever, watching Bakugo's group go through this dungeon. But I don't remember this person using any kind of quirk or power at all. Also, there's other... Oh no, I'm getting to the point where more I talk about this film, the less it makes sense to me, and it's starting to not like it as much. There's other random nobodies that attacked Julio and Deku when they first met up, just trying to shoot them. I think like 3 other people. Who are they? You never see any other randos in this, except for this one time. Oh yeah, you do. And then like fighting with Paulo, but those 2 or 3 also had quirks, not just guns. It's weird. And then there's no other randomness for that. It's just the weird creatures that Dark Might summons. Or maybe it wasn't Dark Might. Maybe it wasn't also this dungeon person either, because gets beaten and then sent away in a hole. Huh. I'm not sure. That's weird. I have no idea what this person's quirk was. Still got like the power up from, I don't know, dressed up like a, I don't know, wizard, dungeon master kind of person. Kind of seemed dumb and pointless for this person, but kind of made more sense with Dark Might. That's weird. Okay. But yeah, then what do they do after that? I'm starting to blank too now. I think they make their way again. They're just roaming around in the dungeon for a bit. I'll get back to that. I don't remember exactly where they go from here. I think they're just roaming dungeons, must be. Because they never get under control. I think they come last. But, I don't know. Eventually, Deku and Julio, how do you say the name, also come to the fountain. At this point, I guess everyone's been done. The last person to get like tested, because all the other students got tested. I guess none of them were compatible. The last one was the tail person. I don't remember names, but failed to. But apparently there were some civilians that were compatible. They're just standing in the background. One of them does end up fighting a little bit, like still under mind control, but beaten pretty quickly. Deku, I thought Deku would be immune to it because the other, the past users of One for All would like help out, but they didn't. They popped up and be like, "No, you gotta figure your own way out of here." And it's like, okay, well, fuck. But after seeing a memory kind of for Julio's, like everyone's also in a shared dream too. That's the other thing. Yeah, Julio and Anna knew each other. I guess Julio was like the butler or something for Anna, or was there just to help keep the power in check, because Julio's quirk is neutralization, which can stop quirks temporarily by touching with the right hand, and that's what Julio was there for, was to help Anna. But yeah, apparently Julio has a fake arm, leg, and eye, and the eye is like, it's all high-tech stuff. Don't know how you get that in that kind of situation. Never get into that history, but yeah, and that eye apparently activates on itself, eye, arm, and takes control, and is enough to shoot the person controlling everyone and like stop all of it, and then the person has to get taken away, not dead, just like I think shot in the shoulder or something. So yeah, everyone's broke out. And then we get the backstory. Julio tries to shoot Anna again, but Deku stops. And then of course Anna's taken away again. But yeah, Julio worked for Anna's family, but then the Gorani family came, found out about Anna's power, killed and burned down the mansion, killed everyone but Julio, took Anna away. I don't know how, got all that stuff, but it shows at some point Anna does tell Julio if Anna ever loses control, power or quirk goes crazy, that Julio should kill Anna. So that's what Julio's been doing this whole time, is just following Anna's wishes. Of course, other people don't like it, so now they're going to try to figure out a way to save Anna without killing. And then that's where like the final push comes. Outside of this giant flying fortress ship, the other pro heroes are finally acting. Endeavor is just trying to blast holes in the ship, but they heal up. Then eventually Mirio, right? That's the person's name. Finds a way in, being able to just like go through things. And is used to take people out of the ship. So it takes them to like a side of it. Has Endeavor like break off a corner or something and have everyone fall out while everyone below is catching them before it heals back up. During this time is also when, was this when everyone jumped in, or did they do another blasting? At some point, a bunch of the pro heroes come in to help, but it's kind of at the very end, and it's only a little bit of help. It really doesn't make that much of a difference or matter that much. I'm trying to remember what Mary even did. Oh yeah, okay, I remember. So everyone kind of just splits up. Trying to remember. Let me think. Get my thought together. Okay, splits up. Deku, Bakugo, Shoto, and Julio are going to go and try to save Anna. While that's happening, Mirio, everyone else is leading the others to safety. Of course, then bad things start happening. So all these giant creatures, or weird fighting creatures, pop up. So all the Mirio ends up leading everyone out, while the rest of the remaining Class A 1A fight these creatures and hold them off. Kind of. There's a little sad thing. Kota, the one that can communicate with animals, kind of useless there in this whole thing. Still there to try to help, and I feel sorry for you, but yeah, really can't do much because there's no actual animals around, not even bugs. That was straight up just said out loud. So yeah, kind of just there. But yeah, most of them are just fighting these creatures out in a field. It doesn't really matter because beating them, they just respawn. Theoretically, there'd be a limit, but it doesn't show there ever being a limit, so they just keep respawning. But I guess what else can you do? Then I think I missed one. Did I say? Oh, I'll try. Look, I was trying to remember. There. Fuck. Names. Hang on. Sorry. Dark Shadow. What's your name? No, I feel bad. Tokoyami, is that you? I'm trying to look up names and stuff because I feel bad I don't get them. Yeah. Okay. So Tokoyami, the one who uses Dark Shadow, also goes with him. I don't know why it's forgotten about. But immediately splits off because has to fight a bunch of other monsters in this weird arena place by himself. Don't know the whole point of them going anyways. I like the character, but it was really just to set up this moment so that Hawks can come in once all the pro heroes come in. Because all the other pro heroes just go out of the field. And it's just kind of have this moment with Hawks too, but it's such a literally brief moment. Just Hawks arriving. It made no sense. So yeah, then the other four keep going. Shoto or Todoroki and Bakugo stop to fight some more members of the family who is, it's that typical giant with the little gremlin person riding. It's one of those kind of characters, or two characters. The big one can just teleport anywhere. Don't know how the power really helps with that because it seems like it can still only teleport where you see. And then the little goblin person is telekinesis, can just lift a bunch of things. So honestly, I don't know why Bakugo and Todoroki have such a hard time because both of them stay. I feel like one of them probably could have handled it because it wasn't that big of a thing, but they really struggle. Eventually, they are just fuck it, we're just going to blow everything up and burn everything. That way they can't escape or see what they're doing, and that works. And then Deku, Julio, whatever, keep going. Finally running into the person who can stop motion. And all Deku does to beat is charge up so much and be so fast that it doesn't matter if the motion is slowed down. It can't slow it down enough, so Deku can just be like a bullet and headbutt this person so hard and knock him out really quick, just so they can keep going. Ooh, there's just a lot to keep talking about. And then I'm trying to think. They keep going. I finally run into Dark Might again. Anna's still under control. They're kind of fighting and doing whatever. It's nothing really too special. Really, for this big climatic fight, it's kind of cool, but also kind of not as big as it could have been. For the fourth movie, for them being even stronger. But yeah, it's just a bunch of desperate fighting, mainly on Julio's part, trying to get to Anna. And then something I forgot about, the person who can control is just hiding there. Julio almost makes it to Anna. And then while Deku's fighting Dark Might, who I don't think I ever said Dark Might's power. Dark Might's power is alchemy, which is just being able to drop coins, use other materials to create other things. That's how it'd be able to keep fixing the ship, create these weird other monsters and the lights and stuff. I don't know how it can be so like limitless. Maybe just because Darkmite really is using up a lot of Anna's power. Anna's hair goes from like blonde to starting to turn dark, almost like a weird dark sickly green color, or blue color. What color again? Some weird, not great looking color. So using up all that to just keep getting stronger and stronger. Julio's just trying to reach, but then the other person who controls with dreams pops up. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you still were around. Tries to put Julio back and does into like a dream, but then the eye takes over and tries to shoot the person again, and the person freaks out. It's like, oh no, yeah, you can do that, but then it's out of bullets, and it's like, ha, and then that's when it takes over the leg and just turns it into like a rocket and sends Julio straight into the person again, kind of just like how Deku did with the other person that can stop motion, knock him out. And then it's just like a struggle really between Deku and Darkmite. Eventually Todoroki and Bakugo catch up and they're help fighting too. It's kind of this. It never really got huge like I've seen in other things. I will say by this point, the first movie, the big climax of it was better than this. So it really wasn't anything impressive. But eventually they're able to win. I mean, that's all it really is to say about it. Eventually they win. But then they win a little too late because now Anna's quirk has started to go out of control. The ship seemed to be falling apart. All the monsters seemed like they were disappearing. Oh, there's one part. Speaking of those monsters, when they're out in the field, they're fighting. And it seems like, oh, now they're giving up and getting desperate. So they all disappear, or they all start grouping up into one so they can turn into what seemed like would be one giant monster. But no, it's not even one giant monster. It's like a giant sea anemone thing. And then even more pop up. And it's like, well, what's the point of that big merging thing if it wasn't necessary? I don't know. It's just a weird thing that stuck out to me. But yeah, Anna's power's going crazy. There's a point. There's another goblin person, really long, like witch, like stereotypical witch-like nose. I have no idea what this person did either. I thought maybe this was the person that was in control of the other creatures that was popping up, or maybe the base or something was in control of that. This person's just chilling, like drinking tea, I think, drinking something, and not doing anything. I don't know if this person had a quirk because the monsters disappear once Darkmite's beaten. So it had nothing to do with this person unless it's just oversight. But then when Anna's power goes out of control again, Darkmite starts sucking up that power again. I don't know. You think if the powers out of control, everyone would start. Because nobody, even though no one else is compatible, they still are like taking in, and they don't like get knocked out from the power. So I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, it gets even bigger and badder. The whole time, Julio's trying to calm Anna down. Reach, who's now in like just a giant bed, tower of thorns. Also, there's a couch that Anna was like laying on that doesn't get touched at all. There's all this destruction in this giant field of a room. Everything's destroyed, but the couch is perfectly fine. I guess everyone's just trying to protect Anna. I mean, that is where the source of the power is coming from, so it makes sense. But yeah, now Julio's trying, just hugging. Apparently never knew if they were compatible before, because Julio's like hugging, trying to get the power, trying to beg unconscious Anna to let the quirk work to neutralize, and eventually it does. And apparently it powers up Julio's quirk so much that at the end, look, Big Bad gets beaten. That's it. It's over. That's enough. It was big, flashy. It looked like the animation bugged out at a point. Cool. But then Julio's power gets powered up so much that it is able to completely erase Anna's quirk, or stop it, or neutralize it. So now Anna never has to worry about it. And now Julio's like, well, my job here is done. I'm just going to walk away to who knows where? You're like, okay, like it's not done yet. But then of course Anna's like, no, stay. It's like, okay. And then the movie just ends. Like, the ship's destroyed, everyone's beaten. Who knows where the other people disappeared to? And I was like, okay, there's an after credit scene. It's nothing special. It's just pretty much to get you ready for the next season. But by the time I watch this, the season's already over. I already know everything that's happening. I don't think there was anything that special with the credits either. So there's no point. If you're going to go watch a movie, and I just told you everything that happened, you don't need to stay for the after credits. It's just really not worth it at this point. But yeah, that's it. Now, there's some things that really don't make sense. I already told you, Dark Knight was so strong, like, could easily just gotten rid of everyone, no problem. There was one point even punched Deku, like, early on, and sent Deku flying, just to show how big of a power got. But then it was also like, yeah, come and challenge me again whenever, as much as you want, something like that. So it was all really a game to Dark Knight, just to get the acknowledgement. Until, of course, the end, and then it just got desperate. But Dark Knight could easily just wiped everyone out, or did whatever, and just didn't. So there's that kind of made no sense. You just have to really like be like, okay, well, it's just the personality. That's why it didn't happen. Here's the other big thing: is look, they're from Europe, some country in Europe. I assume in Italy. It doesn't really say. There's drugs already. And I know they're kind of a Japanese thing. There's a whole season about this. But there are drugs that power you up to crazy amounts. And there's drugs to take away quirks. And somehow, these mafia people never found out about that. I don't know. It was like the Yakuza thing kind of in Japan. You think the mafia could also figure it out to power him up. And then you think, super rich, resourceful, desperate dad of Anna could have found some way to erase the court with these drugs. Seems like such simple solutions, and they went so extreme with it. But that was just another weird thing. I mean, it's like, there were drugs like for these two exact things. There's a whole season about these exact things. Huh. I don't know. But now I wonder if they'll ever come back. I don't know if... I'm trying to think. I don't think there was... Was there anyone in the second movie that come back? I don't know. There's someone in the third movie that could come back. I don't know if they would. Or have yet. But I will say the first movie, if you're like, oh, these aren't canon, blah, blah, blah. They can be. And the first one is. The first movie's canon now. Because they brought back, like, the daughter of whoever from the first movie. Help make spoilers for this new season, the latest season and / last episode of the season, last 2 episodes. I don't know. Armored All Might. I'm pretty sure that armor came from the daughter. I don't remember the daughter's name from the first film. So that's, I guess, it has to be canon. Was that in the manga though? Wait a minute. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, this could be canon. They could come back. I doubt it did, since the manga was almost already over by the time this film came out. I don't know. But there could be anime canon, which, different than just regular manga canon. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. This drink is really growing on me. That limoncello is really starting to come out more. Oh, I meant to take a picture of this before I drink more of it. I'll probably make it a second one for the rest of the day. I don't have notes for this. Normally I'll say you can go on my Ko-fi. If you want to support me there, you can. I have my notes for this, usually pictures of drinks and stuff like that. I might post it on Instagram, who knows, the drink at least. It looks like a glass of wine. I didn't put it in a wine glass because I didn't want to wash wine glass by hand because it doesn't fit in my dishwasher. I was like, I can just throw a whiskey glass in the dishwasher, no problem with that. They're not expensive, but they're still nicer than anything else I got. So I don't have notes, so I can't post that. I might post a picture. I'll see if I remember or get around to it. But yeah, episode 42. It's a special one. I'm working up there. Yeah. I don't know any other films coming out next. I might do. I think there's a Overlord film coming out, but I never saw that series, so I probably won't watch the movie. I have other movies coming on. Get ready for some randos stuff that came out, but for some reason never really got marketed completely. That are just on Crunchyroll. So yeah, that's I guess that's it. Otherwise, I'll just ramble on about whatever. Yeah, finally saw another movie in theaters. If you want to look, it's not bad. It's not a bad movie. There's just some stuff I'll point out, and if you don't think about it too much, but it also just depends on what you like. I like that it was more self-contained in a movie. Because trying to do like a big adventure, whole lot going on in a film, I don't like. Because then stuff gets rushed. I still think there could have been a little extra time just added this in some spots. Especially at the end when it literally just ends. Instead of being like, and then there's more. But I know what's more. The more is the next season. So, I don't know. I kind of like it for that reason. Yeah, I guess that's just going to be it. Hey, actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember ever seeing it. Where was Stars and Stripe in the World Heroes movie? I don't remember. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, that is it for this Alcoholandanime and talking about My Hero Academia. You're next. Let me know your thought. If you already seen it, if you liked it, hated it, any of that stuff, you can, if you have a place to comment wherever you listen to, go ahead and do that. I don't know if I can respond. You know what? Follow me on social media or email me. I'll talk to you wherever you do that at. But yeah, I'll happily talk to anybody else about this. Because, like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't the best. But it's something. It's something nice. But yeah. If you want to support me on Ko-fi, I already mentioned that. You don't have to. I appreciate it either way. It just goes to stuff to keep making content and whatnot. But that is it. So I have been your otaku tainer, theacstories. Until next month, thank you so much. And bye.